years old.
My name is Jean Lee, and I'm 40 years old.
My name is Christopher Lee, and my age is 6.5 years old.
But I'm known as Rocky.
My mother is incredibly resilient and strong. She's been through a lot of tough things in her life.
She would always kind of encourage us and drive us to try to be the best we could.
She is a good mom, and
I don't know where she gets that strength. She has, so often had no one to rely on really, except herself. I think she's just an incredibly strong and smart person. Some people have that inner strength. I think that if you have a mother like that, you're just really lucky.
sometimes we would go to the playground. Sometimes we would go to museums and other stuff.
Although she had limited knowledge of what it's like, how things are done in the United States and New York and whatever, that didn't stop her from trying. So she tried very hard.
She really raised us sort of on her own in a lot of ways. And
Very independent.
she's very independent and very resourceful. And she managed to give us, a loving home and a great education, and everything that any child could possibly ever want or need.
I never understood how she learned the stuff she did and, why she thought certain things were the way it should be, but she believed what she believed and tried to push us, and I guess she did a good job.
She'd be fine if I married a non-Korean. We've talked about this. And she really doesn't care. I think she just wants us to be happy, both my sister and I to be happy. My sister's seriously dating a non-Korean right now, and I've dated non-Koreans. In fact, I think my mom has a prejudice against Koreans a little bit.
Part of the thing that always would amaze me about her was that she never knew how to read a map. She wasn't very good in English, but she would always be able to drive around everywhere. She would go to like out of places in Long Island, New Jersey, wherever, but she would always be able to find her way. And I never understood how she did that. I still don't.
For sure, my mother's hard work and dedication, being able to get up every day and work, typical immigrant story, my parents had a store, they used to work 12 to 16 hours a day, and at the same time still be able to cook for us, amazing Korean food, and get me up every morning. I had to go to high school, it was a 4-hour commute every day, 2 hours each day. My mom was the one to wake, she was my alarm clock. 5:30 every morning, and I commuted 2 hours to go to school and 2 hours to come back, so.
Wow.
Yeah, that's dedication.
She's very liberal and she's very fun-loving. And at this point, we're more like friends than sort of a mother always telling a daughter what to do or trying to lead her in a certain direction. My mother does talk a lot sometimes, but that's good. Sometimes.
Is there anything that drives you crazy about your mom?
Getting in trouble. Getting in trouble.
It's okay. We won't tell her.
When I was in kindergarten, I was constantly having to define being a Korean because everyone assumed that I was Chinese or Japanese. And I remember at one point I just got very frustrated and I came home crying to my mother and I said, Korea doesn't exist because no one seems to know that Korea exists. And my mother, in her typical form, was horrified. So she sat me down and we had the World Book Encyclopedia. And she sat me down, she pulled out the JK volumes, which are the thinnest volumes of the entire. And she sat me down and she said, you need to sit here and you need to read and learn about your country because you need to be an ambassador. So you need to go back and teach them because they just don't know. And it's your job to educate them. So I don't remember how much of what I read was comprehended. But from that moment on, I had always felt the sense that I had to be an ambassador for Korea. But also now that I've lived most of my life here, and also I feel I'm very much an ambassador for New York as well. And as a woman, an Asian American woman, a Korean American woman, I feel it's sort of incumbent on myself to sort of share these sort of stories and to help people understand our history and where we come from.
I love you so much, unconditionally and forever, the way you've always loved me. That's it. I'm gonna get teary.
I love her for all the work and dedication and support that she's given me through the years. She's the best, and she makes the best kimchi in the world, for sure. I even won a kimchi contest using her recipe. So I love you, Mom.